in order to thrive in calculus, we also have to have a firm grip on exponents. So we're asked about 1 over x squared times 1 over x to the 6. Some things to remember. Well, one thing to remember is that if we have a to the m times a to the n, we get a to the m plus n. We have to add those exponents. Another thought is this: if I have a to the negative m, that's 1 over a to the m. Conversely, if I have 1 over a to the negative m, that's a to the m. So there's a semicolon between these two. Note what this means. This negative exponent is almost like saying, I'm in the wrong place. If I'm in the numerator, put me down and make me happy. A positive exponent is a happy exponent in the denominator. If I'm in the denominator, I want to go up to the numerator. So if we follow these two rules here, we're going to have 1 over x to the 2 plus 6 is 8. And then to write this with no variables in the denominator, I'll write this as x to the negative 8. That is our instructions to get our variable x out of the denominator. Here, one thing I have to remember is this: a to the m with the nth root can be written as a to the power over root. Notice, the power stays the power, but the index on the radical becomes the denominator. So I could write this as, well, this is to the first power, and we're taking the square root. So this is x to the 1/2 times, notice this is 2 to the first power. So I'm going to write this 2 times x to the negative 3. 2 remains to the first power. We don't usually write that, but it does remain to the first power. Now, this is 2 times 1, which is simply 2. And I'm going to add these exponents. Negative 3 plus 1/2 is x to the negative 2 and 1/2. If we do 2 times 2 plus 1, we get 2x to the negative 5 over 2. So I've written it as a fractional exponent with no variable in the denominator. Similarly here, I'll have x to the power over root, 5 over 3 times x to the, well, the index is 2, it's not written, and the power is 1. So write this as 1/2. So this will give us x to the 5 over 3 plus 1/2. Now our common denominator here is 6. So we could write this as x to the, well, if I'm going to multiply to get this to 6th power, I have to multiply this one by 3 over 3, and I have to multiply this one by 2 over 2. So I get this, which is equal to x to the 13 over 6. So I've written this with no x in the denominator. And finally here, notice this is 3 to the first power and 5 to the first power. So this is going to remain 3 over 5. But this is x to the, well, it's the 1/3 power down here. Notice these will stay the same. If we want to bring this one up, we'll say this is 3x to the negative 1/3 over 5. And there is our last answer. And a nice little review of exponents. With exponents, we also have to be able to deal with numbers raised to fractional exponents. For example, 9 to the 1/2. Well, this is simply 9 power of 1 square root, which is 3. 4 to the negative 1/2. Remember, I'm in the wrong place. It's 1 over 4 to the 1/2, but 1/2 is really the square root, so we're going to say that is 1/2. And here we have 1 to the 4th power, and we'll take the 5th root. So 1 to the 4th is 1, and the 5th root of that is also 1.